Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We will be getting started momentarily. And we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. I am Sami Abasad, Director of Education at T3 Live. We're going to be going over the market. I'll give you my bias for next week, tell you what I'm going to do. We'll also be going over some swing ideas. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. Also, if you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description below. If you find benefit in today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. That helps support our channel. And last thing I'm going to say is, if you have any questions for us, email us info@t3live.com. Again, info@t3live.com. First off, my voice is a little bit not great, as you can tell. I'm just recovering from COVID. After 3 years of not catching the virus, I finally got it, or it finally got me, and which is why I didn't do a video last week. I came down with COVID last weekend, and I'm just in the, I'm recovering, almost there, getting better every day. But at any rate, let's get started. So a couple of weeks ago, not last week, 2 weeks ago, which was probably either this day or that day, I did a video and I said, okay, I think the uptrend is going to be breaking here and we're going to be pulling back. And I thought we would pull back to the 20 on the weekly chart. This is what I said, at least, is we would pull back to the, as you can see, we didn't quite reach the 20 on the weekly and we already bounced. And then I said, if we get pulled back to the 20 on the weekly, we're probably going to get a reaction because we have a rising 20, the blue line. And once we get the reaction, we can mark off the low, which is this one. But I expected to get a drop maybe to 285, something to 282, but we didn't get there. But at any rate, I said, we will probably get a reaction, and then what we need to do is mark that low off, and that becomes our line in the sand. If the market breaks under Thursday's low, then we should be lower to retest this year's low. Okay, probably, or we should be lower. We should be lower. But as long as we hold this higher low on the weekly chart, then the buy should be bullish. So you got it? That's the game plan going forward, for me at least. As long as Thursday's low holds and we don't breach it and close under it, then I'm going to be bullish. Now the picture isn't very pretty. We have a declining 20 on the daily. We have resistance above. So I expect to have a sloppy week next week, or this upcoming week. Okay, so keep that in mind. But bullish for me unless we break and close below 288.37 on the Qs. On the SPY, that would be 392, and then on the IWM, it would be, actually wouldn't be Thursday's low, it'd be this bar's low, because that's lower, 185.78. So bullish unless we break under those numbers that I just gave you. All right, so now onto the watch list. Here it is. I posted a more extensive list in the description if you want to grab that and go over it. I know nobody wants to do any work and everybody wants to just, make money, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way. I try my best to deliver it to you as much as possible, but there's really at least a little bit of work that's needed on your end. But again, if you want to get the longer list, it's in the description. So AMD on the bullish list. And the reason being is it's a beautiful weekly buy setup. So AMD has been in a downtrend from like $160 something, and then as you can see, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and then finally put in a higher low and lower highs and lower lows, which is the very definition of a downtrend. Finally put in a higher low, and then it broke above this high, so that's a higher high. And this would be the second higher low. The first higher low, since it formed under the declining 20, was not playable. But this is possibly is playable. So I like it long over 81.80. Let's just say over 81.80 long, stop under 75.90 as a potential long-term play. Potential long-term play on the AMD. ANDE, I called it in the newsletter as a long on the 123 last week. And so it triggered already, but it's not too late. It didn't go anywhere. So I still like it higher over last week's high, which is 46.50. Stop would be under the previous week's low, which is 43.69. Okay. Back to the daily chart now. CERT is a daily 123. So like it long, if we take out 2202, stop would be under 21.26 on the CERT, and target is 24. It's not a huge target, it's just $2. CHD is more of a longer term play also, but it's sloppy. It's CHD. It's not going to move that much. Okay, so over the triple top, whatever the highest point is, and that would be the tightest stop under the little red bars low. If you look at the CHD monthly, and we zoom out or we go to logarithmic, it's been in an uptrend for 25 years almost, basically. Got very sloppy the last couple of years, but I mean, it's just been amazing. Now again, this stock doesn't move that much, but I like it over the triple top, over this bar's high actually. 85.10, stop under 82.40. IBKR is just too bullish. It's on fire. You know, not AMD, Ameritrade got bought by Schwab. E-Trade got bought by Morgan Stanley. Does that mean IBKR is the next one to get bought by, who knows, by Goldman Sachs or by some other firm? It might. It's at all-time high. Interactive Brokers. So I like it higher. Now, the truth of the matter is, it should have been played long right here or over here. So if you missed a good entry right there, which I did, you know, there's another entry just over last week's high. Stop right here. And as long as it stays in an uptrend, maybe I would keep it in the hopes of it getting bought. Okay, that's IBKR. ICPT, don't love the daily. It's in an uptrend as a daily 123. So long over $21. Stop under $19. What I like about it is the monthly chart. It's not the daily, it's not the weekly, it's the monthly. Notice how it's been in a downtrend for a long time, and now it's starting to look to want to break the downtrend and transition higher. It may be too soon. Maybe it needs to go sideways for another month or two before it's ready, but it's looking really pretty. This stock, I remember ICPT when it gapped from like 250 to 500. It got from 250 maybe to 480 or something, or I'm sorry, or did it? No, from 85 to 250 maybe, and then a couple days later was at, I think, 500. Yeah, 497, and that was the top. I still remember the gap like it was yesterday almost, from about $85 or something, and it's just huge to 250, or it was one of the biggest gaps I've ever seen, and it's been in a downtrend ever since. Okay, amazing, but it's trying to break that downtrend. Okay, so IQ is Chinese, and the China stocks are looking pretty tasty again. We got the yen in the newsletter, actually as an anticipatory weekly buy setup over on this day. So we got lucky because it almost stopped out the next day. This bar's low was going to be the stop, and then 2 days later it gapped up 14% or something like that. But here's the play on it. It's a weekly buy setup. The yen is the leveraged ETF for the FXI. So triple leveraged, bull leveraged China ETF. So it's a weekly buy setup. So there's yen, there's also CWEB, which is two times the leverage of the, the tech Chinese stocks. So both beautiful weekly buy setups. Like them higher long term. And then I think in the list that I posted in the description, there's a few more China names if you want to check them out. But for now, I got the IQ on the list. And then again, I like the CWEB and I like the IQ. But I'm sorry, the CWEB and the yen. But IQ over 802, stop under 6. It's a huge stop. stop under 647. So it's about $1.60, almost $1.55. It's a big stop, but like it higher long term. JSPR is kind of interesting. It's been basing. 20 MA is pointing up now. So are we gonna get a breakout on Monday over 205? Stop under 185, maybe. Target is about 250, 275 actually. It's 275, 280. So that's the JSPR. Looks kind of good. The MWA is just a base breakout. Over the base, stop under it. Okay. There's also NVTA or NVA, or that looks like the MWA. NVT. So it's a little bit better than the MWA. Long over the base, stop under it. And then there's the next one but it's not on the list, the NVT. Next one on the list is the SMG, which we played as a long-term play from sometime here. I don't know exactly where. Got to target 1, which was, I believe, $70, and then target 2 was the top, or I think we trailed it to the top. I don't know, but it was an amazing trade. Now it continued higher, and now has a daily 1, 2, 3. So long over that doji bar, stop under it, but that's too risky. I would put the stop right here. Target is $100 and 120, 2 targets. And there's also HLF that looks like the SMG. On at least the most recent pattern, looks like the SMG. Has a doji bar 1, 2, 3, but I wouldn't do it as a 1, 2, 3. I would put the stop here, entry right there. Okay. SYNH looks kind of good. It needs to break out though. So the entry for it would be over this tail right here and over the base. Stop right here. Okay, that's the SYNH. And then NVT, I guess we just went over it. The short list is very short. I mean, it's just 5 names. We have the CRDO, short under Thursday's low, stop over Wednesday's high. So Thursday's low would be $10. But stop over 1092, and that's target 1, 935. It's not a very, it doesn't have a lot of room unless you expect it to break under that pivot. I has a 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern. The 1, 2, 3 pattern is when you have a breakdown bar, and when you followed by a narrow range bar, and then the third bar is your trigger bar, the breakdown bar. In this case, we have 2 narrow range bars, so this would be called a 1, 2, 3, 4. One thing, so I love the fact that it gapped under all of this stuff. Every single person that bought it in this base and way before too was underwater that day at the open. So that's why it sold off so hard, because it's just so many people that are in it that when they woke up that day, which was Wednesday, when they woke up Wednesday, they were underwater. So that's really, this was really bearish. I love it, and I would love to play it short as a swing, but I gotta admit, this bar is too big. So it already might have made the move that it was gonna make. But it's an idea. Short under the green bar's low, stop above the high of that green bar. Okay? PWSC is a breakdown after a gap. So it definitely looks lower under 1949. Stop is over 2051, so it's about $1. Target 1 would be about 18. Okay. ZIMV is a 1, 2, 3. We prefer that the narrow range bar be at the bottom of the initial igniting bar. Then it would be a beautiful 1, 2, 3 with like a double bottom. So the break of the double bottom would be beautiful. So in this case, one would have to do it under the green bar's low, stop above the green bar's high instead of under this bar's low, because it would be too big of a stop. But that's a 1, 2, 3 pattern. And then VICR was a gap down, and then now is a sell setup. So short would be under 45.70, stop over 48.60, and target would be at $40. Okay, or around 40, whatever the low is. That's actually much lower than 40, 38.70. And here's the hourly chart. So off the hourly, entry right here, stop up there, and target around here. So it has good reward to risk. I think it's not a bad trade. So that's my list for this week. It's actually my list for just tomorrow, for Monday. And then every day after that, I scan and I generate a new list. But I don't have the time to do a video every single day. So I just do it once a week on Sundays usually. And I hope you're able to use these items if they trigger to make money. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end. And again, I apologize about my voice, just recovering from COVID. But all is well. I'm not complaining, but just explaining why my voice sounds like this. Again, thank you for sticking around. And if you haven't yet, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. If you're on YouTube, please be sure to hit the like button. And I wish you all the best with your trading next week. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody.